I first off want to give a big shout out to the TOKEN2049 organizers for allowing us to be sponsors. This has been a great event, and it feels like every single year we come here, it just gets bigger and bigger, and hopefully we can continue to move in that direction. So I'm Sam Elfarra. I'm a community spokesperson for the TRON DAO and lead a lot on the ecosystem development initiatives. And today we're going to be really exploring the TRON ecosystem, but also looking at some case studies within the payments industry and where things are really moving. So just to show off some numbers as to how big the TRON network is, we are a delegated proof-of-stake consensus mechanism with over 300 million users. Our cumulative transaction count has exceeded 11 billion with a B, and we have about $21 trillion in transfer volume that has accumulated since the course of our inception. 21 trillion. So 21 trillion. That's a lot of value that we've moved at nearly 100% rate. We're extremely trusted, we are reliable, and we are secured. And we're averaging around 8 to 9 million transactions on a daily basis. We have about 27 super representatives. That's a part of our consensus mechanism with some really big names, scaling from Google Cloud, Nansen, OKX, Binance, HTX, and Kiln, and many more very, very reputable super representatives as well. For anyone who isn't aware, on TRON, when you use the native utility token and you stake it, you earn voting rights, and you can delegate your voting rights to super representatives or validators, in other words. And so we've had some really, really big names doing some really, really big things. And as you can see, our global distribution of TRON nodes, because it's decentralized, anybody can spin up a node, has been only accumulating and moving in the right direction globally. And then moving on to here, just some other numbers I'd love to gloat while I'm up here. The TRON network has exceeded or nearly got $1 billion in quarterly protocol revenue. So for every transaction that occurs on the TRON network, a portion of it goes into burning the network utility token, or in other words, generating revenue. And so that's how we measure revenue protocol. And we've been one of the most active public blockchains to date, both on the layer 1 side and the layer 2 side, and have only been continuously moving in the right direction. And I think we can all agree, next to probably events and crypto conferences, stablecoins and payments are one of the largest product market fits, if not the largest, within the entire Web3 space. Now, here's just a little bit about our stablecoin dominance. About a quarter of all stablecoins in circulation are on the TRON network. In terms of USDT supply specifically, it ranges around 55 to 57% are across ERC20 or other chains. And then the other 43 to 45% are just sitting on the TRON network, being utilized for every single day retail payments, business payments, remittances, etc. And it's only been moving in the right direction, as this has been probably our biggest year that we've grown in dollar value amount. Here is a stablecoin transfer volume via Artemis that we've seen right here, exceeding about 650 billion just in the month of July 2025. And I believe recently in the month of September, it's around the same exact amount. So that's $650 billion of value that has been transferred across the TRON network at a 100% runtime. So absolutely no delays, no downtime, everything running fluently and at low costs, if any costs, and completely trusted as well. And what I really like to point out, I love this graph from the Crypto Quant team. If you look at the transactions that happen on TRON and you were to look at the amount of dollars that are used per transaction, over 60% of the transactions that are happening on the TRON network, as you can see by the graph, are less than $1,000. So over 60% of that $650 billion that I just showed earlier is $1,000 or less. That's huge. That's called retail adoption. That's called mass adoption. And so the TRON network is very proud to obviously gloat this, but we're also very humble in the sense that there's still a lot more that we have to do. The payments industry as a whole does trillions of dollars a day, and I'm sure everyone here is extremely excited to continue to explore this industry. And I'm proud to say, the TRON network has really been leading on that. Now, here's a little bit about our resource model. When you utilize the TRX native token and you stake it, you also earn energy and bandwidth. This energy can essentially be used to reduce your gas fees, and businesses all across the globe are utilizing this model in order to create a proper and better business user experience for their users. And then bandwidth is usually utilized for peer-to-peer users, Typically, the first couple of transactions per day are offset because of that. And here are just some numbers in terms of how much energy units have been used in the past couple of months, in the month of September and August, and then bandwidth used as well, and then votes delegated, which really points to the decentralized nature of the TRON network. 43.3 billion votes have been delegated just in the past month. Now, we are one of the most inclusive payment options for underserved populations. A lot of people ask, why has so much growth happened on the TRON network? And that's because we actually are solving a problem that is occurring in underserved populations, whether that problem be hyperinflation, whether that problem be delayed banking fees, or whether that problem be no banking infrastructure whatsoever. The TRON network fills that gap. We provide that said solution, and I'm sure everyone here is familiar with those problems that occur in those emerging markets, and it's a disservice that the world doesn't put more effort into solving those or providing those solutions. But again, I'm proud that the TRON network, as well as various other blockchains, are filling that gap, with the TRON network being a very, very big leader in that. You can see our daily active user count has exceeded, on average, around 3 million. And then our daily transaction account, as I mentioned earlier, has exceeded around 8 to 9, and at some months, over 9.3 million daily active users coming in and conducting either retail payments, business payments, sending money overseas, and just being able to transfer value without having to worry about it not being sent, and it settles instantly and at relatively extremely affordable rates. And here's a little bit more about our daily active user count by quarter. As you can see, since Q1 of 2022, we have been skyrocketing, not just showing the growth of the TRON network, of course, but also the broader payment industry as a whole, with fintech companies continuing to adopt blockchain rails and everything moving in that sector. And then, of course, our TVL, our token value locked, is extremely important. It's sometimes seen as a way for on-chain users or users that utilize the blockchain to gain access to growing their wealth in a proper and compliant manner. And here's a little bit about our ecosystem. So some exciting stuff there. Now, here's to get to the fun stuff. I gloated a little bit about the TRON network, but now I want to get more into how TRON has positioned itself within the broader payment space. And then I want to show a use case at the very end that I hope really invigorates and energizes everyone. So in terms of our impact on global payments, the cross-border remittances sector traditionally is extremely expensive, and it takes a long time for money to settle. And sometimes there are delays, and sometimes there's illicit activity. And there are times where you traditionally don't know what's happening. There's also the e-commerce integration of the global payments section, where it's lower transaction fees for merchants. And of course, if you were to compare that to traditional rails, it's magnitudes more affordable. And it enables fast, secure, and global transactions. Now, why businesses should use stablecoins, I think we can all agree. Lower transaction costs, if near zero fees on TRON, versus 2 to 4, sometimes 5% credit card fees or banking fees. It's also instant settlement and better cash flow for your business with no 1 to 5 bank delays, and sometimes, depending on the jurisdiction, there could be a complete delay and a rerun of the money, and you have to wait another week. And then, of course, it enables borderless transactions, and it actually involves more security and transparency, hence reducing fraud and real-time visibility. The TRON network is proud, as well as the TRON DAO, to state that we've worked with, we have a very cool initiative, the T3 initiative, where we work with TRM Labs, we work with Tether, to reduce illicit activity. And I'm proud to say that the TRON network is one blockchain that is actually working with global law enforcement to reduce on-chain illicit activity. And we've been very successful just in the past year. And I believe recently Binance also joined that initiative as well, and we're excited to continue to grow this initiative, be leaders in reducing on-chain illicit activity, and creating a proper ecosystem. Now, how businesses can accept stablecoins? It's very, very simple. You start with a PSP, a payment processor, or a direct payment. You display the stablecoin payment option, process the transaction, convert to fiat with your on- and off-ramp provider, and then ensure compliance and accounting. Now, here's the case study that I am really excited about. So get used to this slide. I'm going to stay on it for a little bit. When you look at the continent of Africa, specifically 11 countries across sub-Saharan Africa, they do about $120 billion in trading value across either goods, services, or actual just cash amount. Of that $120 billion, 11% of it gets eaten up by fees. 11%. So that's about $10 billion annually that is completely lost due to things that shouldn't even be lost. That $10 billion can go extremely far in areas like Africa, magnitudes more powerful in those types of continents that are underserved because of a lack of financial and banking infrastructure. Now, if you were to do and move value on the TRON network, it would cost pennies if you're doing it the right way, maybe dollars if uptime is high, but it's not going to be 11 cents on the dollar. And at times, 9 cents on the dollar, 12 cents, it depends on the usage. So that's what stablecoins on TRON and stablecoins in general are providing to the globe. It is pushing the frontier of humanity to be able to actually move value without having to worry about extreme fees and delayed time. And of course, as mentioned here, it improves profit margins, it reinvigorates those economies to scale properly, and just makes a better financial system that I believe we all can agree is very much overdue for the entire globe. So borderless finance just enables that efficient trade and economic growth across the continent. And I truly believe that the future of business payments are going to occur on blockchain rails. We're seeing major players in this space continuing to build and integrate away from traditional rails and into blockchain rails, with a lot of that activity happening on the TRON network. Because stablecoins and blockchain payments provide cost savings, speed, and global reach. With the near zero fees and instant settlement, it makes it extremely nice and easy to conduct that activity on TRON. And as we can see with the case study in Africa, specifically those 11 to 12 countries within sub-Saharan Africa, they stand to save billions of dollars. And with trillions of dollars that are being utilized every single day, whether it's in the global FX market or with domestic ACH transfer, even where I'm from in sunny California, I know Singapore is also just as sunny, there stands to be lots of money to be saved on these rails. So when I say with the TRON network, we really are moving trillions of dollars in value across the globe to allow people in Africa to be able to buy things without having to worry about delays or without having to worry about paying excessive fees. We are empowering billions of people across the globe to be able to actually fulfill their dream, create their businesses, and not have to worry. So that is why when I say the TRON network is truly moving trillions and empowering billions, we really mean it. Thank you.